bunch of gamers, one channel, and tons of games. This must be Games and Me. Hey guys, we are the Pixel and Polygon Protection Group, and we are in episode 11. So, now that we're over the hump of 10, how are you doing, Magus?
I'm doing alright, how about you, dude?
Pretty good, man. This is like the part of the month where I usually spend a lot of my paycheck paying the rent, and I'm sad to say I actually bought a lot more games compared to the last paycheck, which I'm trying to budget right now, so I'm really scared about that part. So how about you?
I got a couple things this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got some points for Wii and Xbox Live and Devil Survivor.
Nice. Have you played a lot of that game? I mean, you know, I'll have to be honest, like, I got stuck in the boss of that game, but something kept compelling me to keep, like, leveling up my character and stuff, up until the point where I just totally, like, pwned that guy's face, and I just totally passed that part. Totally loving that game right now.
I have no clue where you're at, because I started, like, I just saw the cool little J-pop intro, which is cool that they put a J-pop intro on the DS game somehow. So that's like as far as I got.
I see. Well, okay, that's fine. It's actually like, I talked to one of my friends from Atlas, and he was like saying like, yeah, it's just this Japanese rock dude that made the soundtrack. I'm like, oh really? Yeah, I can tell. He likes the distortion a lot and stuff. So. Have you been playing any other games, dude?
That I have. I first want to talk about. Let's talk about some Halo 3 again, and I'll tell you why I want to talk.
Okay.
Okay. I know everyone's sick of hearing about Halo 3, but I finally got the Mythic map packs, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the maps packs in Halo 3. I like them a lot. I think they've all been pretty good. The Mythic I like is because it does add some smaller maps. That's what I think Halo 3 lacked, is some of the, Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Guardian's like the perfect map for 6-on-6 or 5-on, not 6-on-6, but 6-player free-for-alls or 5-player free-for-alls or anything like that.
Right.
And they just have more maps of that size with the Mythic map pack, which is really cool.
Okay. So
smaller maps are always welcome.
Nice. Personally, like, I felt that one of Halo's biggest strengths was its multiplayer, and I'm kind of surprised that, it took them this long to actually say, like, oh yeah, by the way, we probably need more of this kind of map and stuff. I'm glad that you finally got it. That's real cool.
I like the big maps, don't get me wrong. I love Valhalla, I love Sandtrap, but we needed smaller maps, though, for some of the smaller game modes, playing, what is it? What's that mode? The 2-on-2 team modes?
Right.
That doesn't cut it on Sandtrap.
Nice. So anything else you've been playing, dude?
All right, let's see. I played a little Mario 64 last night.
Wow, you're just going all over the board here. Xbox 360, 64, DS, what the heck?
Mario 64. I'm all over the board. Completely different games, Halo 3 and Mario 64.
Devil Survivor, what? I mean, seriously.
I do want to say one thing, though, about the 3D Mario games. The way the 3D Mario games have played out, Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, this is how it plays out to me. It plays out the way I exactly like the NES games, okay? Mm-hmm. Mario 1 is that great little game that got you into the series, right?
Right.
As Super Mario Brothers, okay? Super Mario Brothers 2, now we're talking about Doki Doki Mario, okay?
Right.
That's like the black sheep. The the redheaded stepchild that no one likes. Okay, and then you got Mario 3, which is the great classic. You know, the one that just takes what it does and just takes it to this whole other level of just awesome. Okay,
right.
That's how I see the 3D Marios. Mario 64 is a great game because it's like Super Mario Brothers. It introduced Mario to 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Sunshine is the stepchild. I think anyone could use it. It's not a bad game, but it's not as good as 64, in my opinion. But then you got Super Mario Galaxy, which I've been playing through, and that game is better than Mario 64. I think it got the 3D element the best compared to all of them, all the 3D Marios.
I think it's also because of the fact that you didn't have to worry about the camera, because the majority of the camera work is actually done for you. And I think that once the camera stops becoming a gameplay element in a video game, then you really got a good grasp of the design of what a 3D platforming game should be. You agree with this?
Exactly. Yes, I do. I agree with that very much. Because camera is very important to any 3D game, not just platformers. Look at Kingdom Hearts, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts is a good game, but its camera can be fucked up at times. So
and you got to fix it all the time, right?
Exactly. And Mario 64, as great as that game is, you still have to fix the camera.
Right.
At times. I mean, there's times when I had to fix the camera last night. Now, it's not a big pain in the ass, but Mario Galaxy, I don't think I really had to play with the camera at all.
Very minimal. I mean, I'd say personal experience, like, I've gotten to sections where the camera would just automatically lock to the most optimal position possible. And here's a good example. When you're in those, like, you know, airship sections, when somebody's trying to shoot at you from, like, a far away, and so the camera locks onto this almost Crash Bandicoot type view, where you can throw, like, you know, like Koopa shells, like, you know, further away from you. Now, I thought that was, like, perfect. Like, but there were some minor things that I didn't like about that. But again, not a game breaker at all. You know,
No.
It's something that's, you know, you wish a lot of games would actually do sometimes. You know.
Exactly. And one other thing too about Mario Galaxy before I move on to my final game is it took the power up element. Because I felt the power-up element has been missing from the Mario games, even in 64.
Right.
And you had to hit switches, but the power-up, you know, you got the metal cap, the fly cap in Mario 64, the invisible cap, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And those were pretty cool. I mean, I like the metal cap.
Mm-hmm.
But they, you know, you had to unlock switches. They didn't feel like, you know, you just collect them like you did in the 2D ones. And then, of course, they were pretty obsolete in Mario Sunshine. You know, you got upgrades for your water pack or whatever.
The flood pack.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but in Mario Galaxy, it's like what they did in 3. You know, they set it up that certain power-ups are useful in certain areas, but they're useless in certain areas, like the whole B cap and all that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's like one of the things that I loved about Mario 3, you know? Apart from the Koopa Links, which I'm not going to get into that because they're rectifying that in Galaxy 2. So, the suits, like the frog suit and the Tanuki suit where you can transform into a statue, the raccoon suit. I mean, that was the height for me. You know, even Karibo's shoe, like being able to use that, it's the most absurd item ever. But just thinking of like how you can utilize that in the levels was such a joy. And then you again, like what you said, you finally saw that, you know, kind of almost emerging in Galaxy. And then, you know, I'm pretty sure in Galaxy 2 it'll be a lot more prominent.
You got Yoshi back.
Yeah? Well, are you a big Yoshi fan?
I don't mind Yoshi.
Yeah.
I like riding on dinosaurs, but there is a game that did it better than Super Mario World, though, the dinosaur riding element.
Are you going to talk about Adventure Island?
Adventure Island 2, yeah.
How did I know?
It just did. I mean, the reason I liked it better in Adventure Island 2, mind you, as an NES game, was the way they utilize it. Like, it was exactly the way they utilized power-ups in Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, you had the underwater dinosaur for certain levels, and then you had, you know, the regular dinosaurs, like fire-breathing, dinosaurs, but they were useless underwater. I like that element a lot.
Mm-hmm. Like in like an extra, level of depth, I suppose. They kind of did that, I suppose, like with if Yoshi actually ate like a specific colored, Koopa Troopa and stuff, he'd like breathe fire. But yeah, I agree. It's not to the same element as that game, but both are different in their own rights. So
yeah,
leave it at that.
I like Yoshi, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with Yoshi, and we'll see what they do with him. He hasn't really been used. Well, he has been used, but not in the sense he was in Super Mario World. So
very true. Very true.
He was doing puzzle games. So
yeah, Yoshi's Cookie.
Oh god.